I'm Tiff Lee. I opened this place. I've been tattooing 6 years.
My name is Ketzia, and I have been tattooing for about a year and a half, but as a full-time artist, I've been tattooing for about half a year.
And I'm Claire, and I've been tattooing a few months longer than Ketzia.
We're a young shop, for sure. We met at a previous tattoo location, and we all wanted to leave around the same time and decided to create something that was our own, like together.
We all kind of had the same vision of what we wanted a tattoo shop to be and what how we wanted to work. And we just got along really, really well when we were working together.
We're ridiculous.
Yeah, we became very quickly codependent. Yeah, very, very quickly realized that we should probably just do this on our own. Like, we could definitely make a shop that's perfect for our clientele and for our style of work.
I've been tattooing for a decent amount of time, and I was just really sick and tired of the same narrative. I would go to a shop, work there a couple years, and then whoever was in charge just didn't have much care for the artists. And in my mind, a shop is not just like a shop. The shop is created because of the artists that are there, so you have to cherish them.
And I think for myself, and perhaps for you as well, it was more just like being in a professional tattooing environment for a year, and once you realize that that's kind of the expectation of what it's supposed to be, when you have 30 people that are like, we could make something much better than that, it opens up that possibility a lot more.
Yeah, it was definitely a matter of, we each had our own little ideas of where we wanted to be, and luckily we had Tiff, who had the industry experience, and was able to kind of make this happen. Cannot emphasize enough that, this is Tiff's, baby, and the amount of work that, she put into making this dream happen. We're here as support, and we're here to make cool art and put it on people, but the dream that you had to make this shop, it's really everything that I think we could both have asked for as well.
Yes.
An artist-focused shop, something that we can really put our clients first, really just focus on making beautiful work.
And making sure it's a collaborative environment.
Yeah.
Because as much as I am an owner, I'm also here to listen and to create a welcoming environment, not just for the clients, but for the artists as well. Make sure that everyone feels loved and taken care of. That's really important to me. At the end of the day, we're not doctors, we're not volunteers building schools in third world countries, we're not doing anything crazy, we're tattoo artists. At the end of the day, it's just about doing really good work, making sure that the people who come here feel comfortable and cared for and looked after, and making sure that the people you work with are the same, taken care of. I think in the industry we take ourselves too seriously.
Tattooing is such a individual experience. It's something so personal for so many people. I want to be able to have a certain amount of bond with the person who's stabbing me.
Torture with kindness.
Torture with kindness. At least you get a hug at the end of it.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. As, the culture, I think we just have to be good to each other,
And you see it starting to happen more.
Yeah, definitely.
Places like this are opening up at a much higher frequency, and it's not we're not shops that are trying to compete with each other over clientele. It's just small places, usually privately owned, where you just want to make your work and be comfortable.
Okay, so
ready.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, so I started tattooing about 6 years ago. And when I first started tattooing, it was very difficult for me to find any sort of apprenticeship. It was really difficult for me to find a shop where anybody would take me seriously. And that's only 6 years ago. I ended up moving to Greece because I wanted to, hone my craft. And then when I came back, which was a 2-year, period, I came back and there were so many more shops. And I think at this point, people who are younger and newer in the game, such as myself and these two, we're opening shops that are more catered towards being kinder. And I hope that in 5 years' time, it'll just be more of a community, even more than it already is.
Yeah.
Just a matter of expanding the community.
Yeah.
right? Like that's what we're seeing already, and I think that's only going to continue, that the person getting tattooed is just becoming different. It's becoming everyone. So there's all these little sub-communities that are forming, and it's just a larger tattoo community as a whole of people who are, you know, able to do the work and people who want that kind of work. To me, the problem is not the existence of the like hyper-masculine or just the, you know, male presence in the industry. It's just the lack of diversity for other, you know, opportunities. You know, for every one shop that's like ours that is like a female queer shop, like for every one of us, there's 10, 20 male-owned shops. It's just there are more, you know, women, queer folk who are entering the industry, more people of color, which is amazing. And I hope that that trend continues. So it's not that the problem is that we have, you know, male-focused shops or masculine-focused shops. It's just that we need more of the alternatives as well. We need more balance in the industry, and we need to see more voices coming out, because the work that comes from them is outstanding, right? There's so many other perspectives that we just never get to see, and the experience of going into one of those shops is just honestly like mind-boggling in comparison to what many people are used to, especially from like what their first experience getting tattooed might have been.
I like to think too, just like since I've been in tattooing, like I've seen such a huge change with the amount of people that are like either non-binary or female who have entered the game, and it's pretty incredible because at the time it was so difficult to find any sort of apprenticeships. No one would take you seriously. I remember going for an interview for a shop, and they wouldn't, like a friend of mine worked there, and he told me that they wouldn't take me because like I'd done the interview and they're like, yeah, so they're not gonna take you because you're a woman. And I was like, oh good, I'm glad that this is a thing. And you know, that's changed so much. I think I'd like to think that most shops have like a pretty like relatively even split of gender, I guess. Like
I mean, I think Toronto is also a nice area to be for that. Yeah. Like Toronto is a bit more of an open place to be working, especially downtown. You know, you're gonna get a lot more like non-males who are entering the industry. Good old diversity, not men. but you know, like at this point it's been a week and a half that we have been open, so we're still just trying to be functional.
To the community is us.
Yeah, that's existing. We do have a lot of goals in terms of what we want to be able to achieve once we are like fully up and running and operational. And
yeah, clients come in, they're like, oh, how long have you been open? We're like, today is the first day.
Yeah, jokes aside though, we do have a lot of very, very real plans to do some stuff with that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So the answer is none yet. But hopefully more.
Yes. Insane.
Yeah. I'm still not used to it.
It's weirder for me when people actually know it's my work. Like when a stranger will see another tattoo and be like, oh, that one's Kobrah's. Like,
I think it's just like, I just feel like a tremendous amount of gratitude that people just keep coming back. Yeah. And that my work does exist out there in the world on a person's body. It's like pretty darn cool.
It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, it's nice. Welcome to Heartstrong. It's us, I guess.